Hello, this is Javier Arancibia again from Liberated Rochester, New York. Thank you for watching. I wanted to continue my series, if you will, on how I became an anarchist, more specifically an anarcho-capitalist or a voluntarist. So, first I'm going to talk about a concept that, I don't know if it's a concept, but whatever, just an idea or something. It's sometimes when you come across information or you come across ideas, you have a doubt about something it's very disturbing or something that you just can't figure out, and you just kind of let it go and you keep on going. And you might even forget that the doubt is there, but it's there. So I had an experience like this when I first started getting into libertarianism, and I want to share that. It started with this book, Economics in One Lesson. That was my first book. First book I ever read on libertarian, economics that libertarians like to study. Austrian economics. I don't know if Hazlitt called himself or considered himself an Austrian, but that's what he is. And he was a good friend of Mises. And he helped him when Mises came to this country. Anyway, so I read Economics in One Lesson as my first, as my introduction to economics, and lots of books followed after that. So it's something that a lot of people who read whatever, I'll just get right to it. So the lesson kind of starts like this. The book starts this way. Economics is haunted by more fallacies than any other study known to man. This is no accident. The inherent difficulties of the subject would be great enough in any case, but they are multiplied 1,000-fold by a factor that is insignificant in, let's say, physics, mathematics, or medicine. Special pleading selfish interest. Now, it goes on. This is the persistent tendency of men to see only the immediate effects of a given policy, or its effects only on a special group. So, now, stopping right there. In order to choose or to determine or to say which are the best economic policies, they have to be the ones that benefit everyone, and they don't only have to be good in the short term, they have to be good in the long term. So, realizing that, I was thinking and I said, there's no way that the majority of people would ever understand this. And it has something to do with the nature of government. A lot of libertarians want this, and I wish it were true, but that it could happen, but it can't. Want like a night watchman state. So they want a government that can keep the peace and leave everybody alone to do business. Because if you leave everybody alone to do business, it'll go the best compared to when government tries to manage it and it doesn't go the best. It goes freaking terrible. So, so anyway, so whenever government is present to be able to help one group over another, there's always going to be people who are going to be making or voting for bad decisions or bad things because there's a benefit for them. So if it's stupid to nationalize the postal service, people who work in a post office are not going to vote their own jobs away. If teachers unions and tenure for teachers and a lot of other stuff that's involved in that is bad for students but good for teachers, teachers are not going to vote away that privilege. So whenever the government is letting themselves to a certain to having or to giving out privileges, the people are always going to vote selfishly. Same way as people in government. If you want to have privilege, you want to have your friends in the government, or be in the government, and bribe the government, which is in a way what happens and what has to happen in a democracy, the kind that we have anyway in the United States. So it's a lot of stuff, and realizing this, I always knew that libertarianism, while government exists, can never happen to the extent that we would like it to the extent that even as I was at the time a small government libertarian, an anarchist, and I had to get rid of that after a lot of realizations and a lot of things. I want to say something else about greed. A lot of people say the problem is greed, the problem is money. And I want to make a video much later about the problem is money, and people want to get rid of money, and it's not going to work. You shouldn't get rid of money. But anyway, the problem is greed. How is greed good in some cases? How is greed? When is not how. When is greed good? When is greed bad? Well, when you're dealing with government, when you have government favoring one or another, greed is bad, because greed is mixed with violence. So the government is offering its services, it's offering its violence to help the greedy. Bad. But when there is no government, when there is no legal force, supposedly legitimized force, then the greed is good, because in order for the greedy capitalist, the greedy entrepreneur, the greedy whatever, to make it, he has to convince people and provide something that people are willing to pay because they like what they're getting in exchange. So, in that way, greed is good. That's about it for now. I want to thank you again for watching. This is Javier Arencibia from Liberate Rochester, and I'll be having more videos to come as to my experience in how I went from being a small government libertarian to being a complete anarchist, anarcho-capitalist. Thank you.